There is a farm in rural Ontario, an old place, not much more than a big rotten barn that some say was once red, and a farmhouse that never had enough love in it to be a home. Best not to say exactly where. Those who know this place don't need more than that, and those who don't know it should try their foremost to keep it that way. The only person anyone can remember living there is the farmer. That's what they call him, the farmer. Never spoke to anyone long enough for them to learn if he had a name. He lived in that farmhouse all his life. No family, no car. No one had ever witnessed him being any danger, but everyone had a cousin now off up north that swore up and down they'd seen him devouring their missing cat out behind his tool shed, or heard him hollering for the devil as he tore up his kitchen floorboards in the middle of the night. Most folks thought it better to err on the safe side and kept their distance. Even the bravest crop of kids and the friendliest down-the-line neighbors couldn't hold their nerve on his property long enough to be sure exactly what assortment of animals the farmer kept. But anyone driving by with their windows down knew one thing for sure. He had chickens. It's said that one early spring day, the farmer went out to the coop at dawn and picked out a hen for slaughter. He brought the bird over to his stump, wrenched free his axe, and laid it down on the red-stained wood, just like he had dozens, maybe hundreds of times before. With one hard and practiced chop of the arm, he separated the head from the body, and the bloody neck and all below it tumbled down into the grass. When the farmer had thrown the head away, he noticed the headless body was stirring still, wobbling on blind legs and running into his boots. The farmer picked the chicken back up and onto his butchering block, and with 2 hard and practiced chops of the arm, cut clean 2 more sections of neck, aiming to sever any more life left in it. Again the feathered form tumbled down into the grass and lay there unmoving as the farmer cleaned the stump. But again the farmer felt a meaty thump against his boot and looked down to see the headless chicken on its feet, stepping right into him. The farmer, frustrated, stooped down and picked up the bird by the talons, laying it down on the stump, and with one hurried chop of the arm hacked off both its legs, hoping to keep it stuck there until whatever leftover life it had drained on out. The farmer took a step back. The headless, legless chicken stirred, and in a ball of bloody feathers rolled right off the side of the stump and up to the farmer's feet. He took a stunned step backwards, and the chicken rolled right back up to meet him. Now falling into a fit of panic, the farmer began to pace away, but the headless, legless chicken was still as fast as he, and followed right at his heels. With a little cry of fear and a frightened chop of the arm, the farmer brought his axe down on that bird again, catching first the left wing, then again slicing off the right. Still the chicken rolled after him, leaving a trail of slick, bloody grass in its wake, unaffected by its losses. With a loud bellow of fear and a feverish double-handed chop of the arms, the farmer brought his axe down with all his might, and he cleaved the headless, legless, wingless chicken in half down the middle. Sprawled out before him on the ground lay a double cornucopia of oozing guts and giblets. All was still, and the farmer dropped his axe to wipe his brow. When the chicken moved again, each piece of red, glistening, separated meat tossing and turning and churning to roll in the direction of the farmer, he let out a scream. He stumbled backwards as the mass pursued him, and, axe out of reach, could only think up one retaliation. He brought his leg back and kicked at the thing as hard as he could, sending meat and blood and feathers flying. Only he had put in just an ounce too much force, and ended up tumbling backwards across the threshold of the tool shed. The farmer windmilled his arms as he fell, instinct driving him to grasp at anything he could, and on his descent knocked loose his hanging tools. No sooner had the farmer hit the ground did his wheat scythe sing a sharp note as it tipped fast and hard over, and with one heavy chop, the blade landed right across the farmer's neck. They say if you go by that old farm, with its rotten barn and loveless farmhouse, the farmer's still there, sitting on his porch in his rocking chair with nothing above his shoulders. But if you do go, though, make quite sure he doesn't notice you. He doesn't have eyes or ears anymore, but he does still have his axe.